Hello, Professor. This is my project. I'm Ifeanyi Lawrence Moyin. I changed my project from resume builder to language translator due to some complication. So first and foremost, uh, the language translation, I had to create a back end and a front end. The back end runs on Python and Django, and to start it up, I need. Let me see. See. It's okay. Let me hide this. To start it up, I need to run Python manage.py run server, which is how to start up a server in Django, server back in Django. And I start it up. Then it's running now. Now I have to go to localhost on port 8000. That's where it's served. Then I refresh this and it's served now. Then I type this the models that are supported: GPT-40, GPT-40 mini, GPT 3.5, Mistral large, Mistral small. Then the languages, there are many languages, about 20 languages, ranging from English, French to Swahili, German, Italian, Chinese, etc. To and fro. So I start with English and then I translate to French. I type I am happy. Then it goes to the back end and it returns Je suis heureuse. Then for Chinese, I don't know how to read Chinese, but I can type I'm happy there too. Then it goes to the back end and it brings out these characters. Then let me go back to French. Now I can still type I'm happy with another model, let's say Mistral large, just to check whether it is the same or it's similar. So using Mistral large, just a little bit of error. JJ suis hers. There's just a little error there. So that's exactly how this project works. It can allow you paste up to a token length of up to let's say about 8000 for GPT-4 and GPT-4 0 mini, and about 4000 and 2000 for Mistral large and Mistral small. So you could actually translate a full document by just copying and pasting it into this window if you want. Then that's it for the demo. The next thing I need to do is go through the code base. Now the code base, this is the main code is in utils, this utils folder, llm.py. So under llm.py we have prompt OpenAI. It's for prompting OpenAI, GPT-40, mass token, and temperature. Then we include Claude API, which I didn't use here. We include OpenAI API and Mistral API. Then we also have prompt Mistral, which I use to prompt the Mistral code. Then we have a prompt where we check the LLM for if it's GPT-4, GPT-4 mini, and so on and so forth. The comments are there. Then you prompt it accordingly. Mistral small, Mistral large. Then we have the translate util. This is for translation. It takes a sentence, source and destination, and an LLM, and then it translates. Yep. Then we also have the .env file. So let me go to the README. That will explain a lot. In the README, the first thing you do is install the pip install -r requirements.txt, which has the Python dependencies. Then we have the environment variables, create.env file, and set one or more of the API keys. So here you can just set Mistral API and OpenAI API. I set my own in this .env file, which I created here, which is not part of the source code. I can't put my keys in the source code. Then we have launch server, Python manage.py launch. That's what we did, and then we launch the client. Then for language evaluation, you have to type Python evaluate.py and it outputs to report.txt. So when I did that, this is the report I got for the Blue language. So English to French, the Blue language score is relatively lower than what was claimed, but it's because The data set that I used is about 32,000 sentences. However, I used only 100 of those sentences to make my evaluation, which means this is just faulty generalization because um, the reason why I use only 100 is because since I'm trying to get it, like I'm using an API that is not free, so I can't just use too much. Otherwise, I'll just waste a lot of money. So that's why I had to use just 100, which is very cheap. But that gave me a score that I will not say is representative of reality, but at least it shows a score out of a sample of 100 of this. So the Chinese, the French resources is high language resource. The Chinese resource is low resource language. What does high resource language mean? It means a language that the resources in that language is not as much, is not enough. So why a high resource is that it's enough, like they have a lot of corpus for it. Why? So transition to and from Chinese is not as much as translation to and from French. So large language models, when they are learning these translations, they are not as accurate for low resource languages as against high resource languages. So that's why I used English to French and English to Chinese to represent this. And to let me just show running of the evaluation. Python evaluate.py. I will first delete, yeah, just run. It downloads the English.xml, French.xml from the Christos corpus, which is what we use. So that's it. So it starts translating, translates 100 of them, then it calculates the BLEU score, BLEU score, and the CHR score. Then it prints it on the screen, also prints it into the report.txt, which is where I take the data from for my report. Thank you very much. This is my demo.